Celanese Corporation of America, in association with the playwrights, the distinguished authors of America's finest plays, Anderson, Barry, Behrman, Crothers, Howard, Osborn, O'Neill, Rice, Van Bruten, presents the Celanese Theater. Celanese Corporation is a producer of basic raw materials used in many great industries, including industrial chemicals, plastics, and chemical fibers. Celanese chemicals may ultimately reach you in such final forms as lacquers and paints, drug products, or plywood. Celanese plastics also serve you in many fields. One of the Celanese plastics, in the form of a special film for packaging, has revolutionized the way fresh food is sold. And of course, Celanese pioneered and is the principal producer of acetate, the most versatile of chemical fibers, used to make beautiful carpets, lovely draperies, men's clothing, and glamorous fabrics. Tonight, Celanese Corporation of America brings you another great play, direct from the New York stage of the Celanese Theater.
Thank you, Marcy. I'll just keep it here till I need it.
How are you feeling, Mrs. Northrup?
Won't be long, for I'm flat on my back for good now.
Oh, you've got years and years yet.
Don't know if I want years and years yet.
Granny, why do they put dead people in coffins?
Oh,
There, Miss Nellie. Don't talk about that anymore, boy.
Why do they, Gramps?
That's all right, Miss Nellie. That's all right.
don't know, I'm just so tired, Julian.
Yes, of course you are. Now everything's all right, Miss Nellie.
Is it comfortable in a coffin?
Yes, boys. Very comfortable in the coffin.
My mom and papa are in coffins. They put them in the ground like this. You may know now. Dear Lord would command to like this.
Don't, please, I told you.
That's all right, Julian. Come here, Pudge. Yes, dear. Your mama and papa are both very comfortable.
My papa was a brave man, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, dear. Very brave.
He turned his automobile right off the road so he wouldn't hurt a little boy just like me.
That's right, dear.
They've gone where the woodbine twineth.
How's that?
Where the woodbine twineth.
Julian Northrup, what kind of heathen nonsense have you been teaching the boy?
Just a phrase I made up, Miss Nellie. It don't mean anything.
But I must never forget that my dear mama and papa were taken from me, and I will never have any others. I'm an orphan.
Who told you that?
Aunt Demetria.
There, that darn old
Julian?
telling things like that to a boy. Is that old hellion?
Julian, if you swear like that anymore in front of... Who are you writing to, anyway?
Reverend Murdoch. He looked pretty shabby when he's preaching that funeral sermon. I guess preaching don't pay what it used to.
What are you writing him for?
Well, to send him a check for $50. Well, that's a good deed, ain't it? Even if I do say so myself.
Good deeds and leading a Christian life are two different things.
Gramps, if you do a good deed, you can make a wish. It'll come true.
What's that?
If you do a good deed, you can make a wish. It'll come true.
Was that so?
That's what my book says.
Must be so, then.
So make a wish, Gramps. Make a wish. Make a wish.
All right, boy. Just as soon as I can think of a good one. Ain't it getting nigh into your bedtime?
All right, Gramps. I'll go up as soon as I get my frog.
Your what?
Gramps promised me I could sleep with it, didn't you, Gramps?
Julian Northrup, I've got to have a talk with you.
Oh, now, Miss Nellie, it's pickled in the jar. Ain't nothing to get all head up about, so long as the cover's screwed on nice and tight.
It's got nothing to do with the frog. Julian, I've had a warning. I heard the voice of God at the funeral. I was sitting there during the hymn, asking myself why this cross had been put upon us. What had we done that was bad? And suddenly it came to me.
It's me, I suppose, huh?
It
me?
was you.
Well, what have we done that's bad? I can't think of nothing. Say, unless you've been up to something.
I have, Julian. I've been closing my eyes to the way you've been ruining Pud. Jim was always too busy doctoring to spend any time with the boy. You're the one he's been with mostly. It's getting so he mimics everything you do.
Well, it could be worse.
We can't raise a little boy, Julian, all by ourselves. We're too old.
Why, of course we can, Miss Nellie. Same way we raised Jim. I'll keep teaching him to cuss, and you keep teaching him not to. He turned out pretty good, wait till you see.
We've got to find some other way to raise that boy.
There ain't nobody gonna raise that boy but us.
Julian, the Lord said...
Oh, the Lord, nothing. You heard the voice of Demetria.
No, it wasn't. It was the Lord.
No, it was Demetria.
Julian Northrup, I guess I know the difference between the Lord's voice and Demetria Ripple's.
Gramps, somebody's stealing the apples again.
Good, Janice. Good, darn young psycho. Hey, I'm coming out there to get you. You just wait.
Get away, Gramps.
Hey there, wait.
That's me, boy. Gramps, he got away. He didn't wait.
Oh, blast. I swear I wish anybody climbed that tree. He'd have to stay up there until I let him down.
Gramps, you made a wish.
Huh?
A wish. You were standing on a climb that tree, but have to step there until you let him down.
Hey, a lot of good that's going to do me.
Gee, I bet we'll catch one of those bad boys up there and keep him up there for 100 years. Maybe a million years. Maybe. Gramps.
Oh, shucks. Oh,
Good
shucks.
supper. Julian, close that door.
Oh, it ain't no use.
Oh, hello, Dennis.
Pismire.
Hello, Nellie.
Come right in.
Poor little Lammy. Now what's the matter? Still thinking about your poor mama and your papa?
Oh, leave that boy alone for Pete's sake.
Julian.
Let me go.
Oh, Lammy. Aunt Demetria understands. You must be a brave boy, Pud. God has taken your poor mama.
Leave that boy alone, I take it.
Julian, would you deny the child Christian comfort? His parents hardly cold in their graves.
That you know about Christian comfort, you old...
Julian?
Well...
Nellie, how you tolerate that smelly old pipe's beyond me.
It's not good for him either. Smoking's a filthy habit.
A heap of things worse for me than pipe smoking.
What have you got in the jar?
Oh, a dead frog. Oh, it's a beautiful specimen. Go on, show it to her, Bud.
Now you put that filthy jar down. Come to Aunt Demetria.
No, I hate you.
Now there, you know.
You come here to me.
In the pig's eye, you will.
In a pig's eye, I will.
You see? What, you whited sepulchre?
What? Why did you... Why, you woman of Babylon, you...
You pismire, what?
Yeah, he's right. That's what you are, Pismire. The meanest of ants.
Pismire.
Hey, don't run away, boy. Don't run away. You don't have to run away. Come back.
You heard, Nellie.
I never thought I'd live.
You heard what he called me. He called me.
I know, Revelation 17:5. Don't say it.
I know I'm just a nobody. Maybe I'm no better than some people say I am. But I'm certainly not a...
Of course you're not, Demi. I don't know what Julian was thinking of. You're the only God-fearing woman. Well, maybe that's what the voice of God meant.
What?
Maybe you were meant to bring Pud up.
Me?
Your own sister's child. And you could bring him up the way God
Oh,
meant
I
you to
did
bring
think
Pud
about
up.
it, Nellie. But I couldn't afford to give Pud all the things he's been used to. Unless, of course, Jim left a will or something like that.
Well, he did, Demi. Jim left Pud $15,000.
$15,000? Why, that poor little lamb. Well, maybe you're right, Nellie.
About what?
Maybe I should adopt Pud.
I didn't exactly mean... Well, Demi wouldn't have to really adopt him, would you? I just thought he'd sort of live over there with you and see Julian in the afternoon, maybe, and you could kind of... No, Demi, I guess not. I mean,
You mean you're going to let Julian go on bringing Pud up like a heathen?
Oh, I don't know what to do, Demi. I'm so tired.
Well, would you like some more soda water?
Yes, I would, Marcy. Still feel kind of rumbly down here.
Good evening, Miss Riffle.
Good evening.
Now, I can come over in the morning and get Pud's things. And in the afternoon, I'll go down and have Lawyer Pilbeam draw up the papers for you to sign about the will and the adoption and all.
No, see here, Demi. I didn't say anything about your adopting Pud. You're trying to put words in my mouth.
Nellie Northrup, you said I was to bring him up.
I was just wondering about
You said it, Nellie.
Well, if I did, I was wrong. I can see that now. I don't like the way you're acting, Demi. Oh.
Dear Nellie.
Pud? Oh, Pud. Pud, where are you, boy?
Mr. Julian Northrup, I believe.
What's that? I didn't catch it.
Well, most people don't hear me the first time.
How in blazes could I hear you if I was asleep?
Are you sure you were asleep?
I guess I must have drowsed off. Felt kind of tired all of a sudden. Hey, who are you and what do you want?
I request that you come with me.
Yeah, where are you going?
Where the woodbine twineth.
Where the wood... Why, I said that. I made it up. It's what you say to a child. I ain't no child.
Aren't you?
No, I'm not. Say, who the devil are you?
You may call me Mr. Brink.
Well, look here, Mr. Brink. I don't like you. I wouldn't go with you to a rat fight. So now you know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't like the way you snuck up here. I don't like the way you talk.
Well, I'm afraid that will have to be as it may be.
Oh, you are, eh? Well, you'd better get out of here right away.
You see, it's time for you to come with me.
No, it ain't. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to stay right here. I'm waiting for Pud. Now, you get the tickets out of here. You get off my property. You get... Well, I'll be... I could have sworn.
Julian! Gramps?
Huh?
Who was that man?
Oh, you seen him, did you, boy?
Sure, he was coming down the walk. Who was he?
Well, I don't like to know who he was.
What did he want?
He wanted me to go with him.
Where?
Where the woodbine twineth.
Oh, you mean...
By golly, boy, we better go in. It's getting kind of chilly out here. You young varmint. Wait till I get my stick. I'll learn you to trespass on other people's property.
Yes, the Gramps was down. Hurry!
Come in, yes you can. Now, look here. What do you mean climbing my tree?
I ain't doing anything. I didn't pick any apples yet.
Well, don't cry, son. I ain't done anything yet neither. Whose boy are you?
Judd Martin.
So you're apple hungry, are you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, why don't you come down?
I can't. My breeches is caught. Gramps, you wish. You can't come down.
You want to loosen your breeches and come down as fast as you can.
Yes, sir. I'm coming. My breeches is loose now. Never get me again, boy. Boost me up, Gramps. Boost me up.
Boost you up? Well, you don't have to steal. My golly, boy, you're a full-time job.
Now you know I can't come down until you let me. That was your wish. I hope you won't keep me up here too long.
I'm liable to keep you up there all week. Here, maybe for 100 years. It depends on how I feel.
I made you a nice cup of fresh tea.
Thank you, Marcy. Just set it down.
Is anything wrong, Mrs. Northrup?
Wrong? No, there's nothing wrong, Marcy. I'm just kind of tired. I'm going to go to sleep in a minute. Now, let me see. There was something I was supposed to talk to you about. What was it? Well, I forgot. Doesn't matter anyway. Marcy?
Yes, Mrs. Northrup?
Marcy, you just see that Julian always has his pipe. Will you do that?
Well, yes, Mrs. Northrup.
You're a good girl, Marcy. Now go on about what you were doing.
Don't you think you've done enough?
That you, Julian?
No, not Julian.
Who is it?
It's Mr. Brink. You look rather tired.
I am kind of tired, Mr. Brink.
I thought so. Well, it's time for you to come with me now.
Come with you? Brink? I don't know any... Now, see here. What call of you to come butting in here?
I usually go to bedrooms. It's so much more comfortable.
What is?
To come with me.
Why should anyone go with you?
Well, it's customary.
Oh? Well, you might as well sit down and wait, because I'm not going to stir until I finish this knitting. I'm narrowing off at the top now.
I know that.
What do you know about knitting?
I don't mean the mitten. I mean you.
What a fool thing to say. Don't you know a lady from a mitten?
Yes, I know a lady from a mitten.
Now don't go away, you just have to wait. Almost finished. There. That's got it. Don't that red stripe look well with the gray?
Excellent, my dear. Come.
She remained up in the mountains. She remained up in the mountains. She remained up in the mountains all the night.
Gramps, let me down!
Her life was beer and skittles, and she was eating fancy victuals. And that West Virginia...
Gramps, please!
I think I'll leave you there and go down to Millbrook Park and pick up a few rock specimens.
Gramps, I want to go with you. I can't get loose.
Of course you can't. You can't get loose till I tell you.
But honest, I can't.
Of course you can't. You can't go breaking my spells like that.
Gramps, let me down. I was tired.
All right, boy. Let go, boy. Let go. What's the matter, boy? What's the matter?
I couldn't let loose.
Of course you could.
No, I couldn't. My hands wouldn't move.
Well, I thought you was just fooling.
I was fooling at first, then my hands wouldn't move. The tree was holding me.
By golly, boy, you do give a person the creeps sometimes. Golly, if I don't believe you really thought that tree was holding you.
It was, Gramps, it was.
Why, that old apple tree couldn't hold anybody.
Yes, it could, Gramps. You wished it could.
Mr. Northrup! Oh, Mr. Northrup, come quickly! Mr. Northrup!
Oh, no.
Good evening. Did it ever occur to you that the many products that save you time, give you better value, or bring added beauty and pleasure into your home actually come from industrial research? As one of the nation's leading chemical companies, Celanese Corporation of America is prominent in modern industrial research. Although a little more than 25 years old, Celanese has already pioneered many outstanding products that are today a part of American life. The very idea of chemical fibers was born of research, and Celanese is one of the pioneers in this field, beginning with the introduction of acetate fibers in the mid-1920s. These chemical fibers have made possible so many beautiful clothes and useful home furnishings for all of us. Then, too, they have added immeasurably to the growth of the textile industry and paved the way for still other types of man-made fibers, some of them born in the laboratories of Celanese. In still another field, the production of organic chemicals from petroleum gases, Celanese has developed a whole new source of important raw materials for American industry. Witness their large-scale commercial production of the essential chemical formaldehyde in solid rather than in liquid form. From an industrial standpoint, this was a notable advance, since it meant easier handling, less shipping weight, and reduced costs to the many industries employing this extremely vital chemical. Another example, this in the field of plastics, is the development of transparent packaging films, the famous Celanese breathing wraps, which bring you fruits, vegetables, and meats at their purest and freshest, thereby contributing to a whole new system of modern food merchandising. Celanese Corporation plans and thinks constantly in terms of research to bring you better products, better services, and better values. Rest assured that many of the good products you will enjoy tomorrow are in the research laboratories of Celanese today.
Supper is nearly ready. Time you got washed.
All right, Marcy.
Demetra Riffle was over again this afternoon.
She was?
She's been over every day since the funeral. She's asking about your health.
You're hanging, just waiting for me to die, ain't she?
And Pud seems so lonesome lately, too. He hardly eats a mouthful.
Yeah, that's what Miss Nellie said. She said he mimics everything you do.
That's right, he does.
If I'd only got there in time, Marcy.
Don't take it so hard, Mr. Northrup.
We had words about raising Pud. She died before I could take him back and say I was sorry.
She understood.
No, she died and didn't forgive me. She cried and didn't forgive me.
Oh, she did. She would have forgiven you almost anything. I almost forgot.
Oh, there you are, Sonny.
Shall I sit down here, too?
Sure thing. What makes you think you shouldn't?
I think I should.
Yeah, we're having supper in a minute.
I'm not hungry.
Oh, you gotta eat, boy. Hungry or no hungry.
Why?
You keep up your strength. And only me and you left now. Only me and you. And I figure we got to stick together.
You're darn right.
You shouldn't cuss, boy. Your granny didn't like it. Let's you and me turn over and you eat, Claude, huh?
What for?
Well, so your Aunt Demetri won't keep on saying I'm bad for you and won't keep on trying to get you away from me.
Oh, we'll kill her.
Oh, Lord Henry, I almost wish we could.
We'll kill her and put her in the ground. Now lower the coffin and say...
Hush, boy, hush.
What's the matter, Gramps? Are you sick?
Growing pains, I guess.
Mr. Northrup, here's your pipe.
My pipe, Marcy. No, I don't believe I could smoke it, thank you kindly. Fact is, I don't believe I'll ever smoke anymore. She didn't like it.
Oh, but she did. I know she did.
No, Miss Nellie thought it was a dirty habit, and I guess it is.
She told me I was always to keep your pipe filled.
Miss Nellie what? When?
Just before she died. She said, Marcy, always see that Julian has his pipe.
Marcy ain't saying this just to make me feel good.
No, Mr. Northrup, I couldn't do a thing like that.
Give me my pipe. Thank you kindly.
Does it taste good?
Better than anything I know, boy.
I'll just go finish supper.
Gramps, why does your hand wiggle so when you light up the pipe?
Oh, dear boy, well, I guess I haven't been keeping up my strength. I do feel kind of shaky.
Good evening.
Oh, it's you, is it? What do you want?
You?
Can't I ever shut my eyes without you butting in?
I thought perhaps you'd like to come with me now.
Now, look here, Mr. Brink, I ain't going with you at all. I'm going to stay right here with this young fella. You're about as welcome as a fly on a currant bun, so now you know.
Well, your similitudes are rather earthy, but I understand your meaning.
My similitude? What kind of talk is that?
Sure, what kind of talk is that? He sure does talk funny, doesn't he, Gramps?
Now, you go on, get off my property.
Come, let's not be difficult. Your wife was so charming to me.
Miss Nellie? Is she well?
Sorry, I can't tell you that. Only that she's changed.
Miss Nellie changed. That's what you think.
Oh, my dear man, let's not argue the point. You can't fight me away any longer. Come.
No.
Come now.
No.
Come.
No.
Oh, you're being difficult again. It's so pleasant. It's so easy. Don't be afraid. Don't worry. Come.
Just a minute, please, Mr. Brink. If you don't mind, I'd like to have one last apple off my tree before I go.
All right.
You wouldn't like to get it for me, would you?
Well, why not? Let's see, this one or this one?
No, I don't want none of them. I got you up that tree, and I'm going to keep you up there until I tell you to come down.
You've got him, Gramps, you've got him.
By jolly boy, I believe we have. I believe we have.
I'm an attorney, Miss Riffle, and I happen to be a very busy man. Can you tell me why you insisted on seeing Dr. Evans and myself together?
Well, I found out something very important this morning, Mr. Pilbeam. As a matter of fact, I want you both to meet a friend of Julian's.
Who?
Mr. Brink.
Well, I'm rather busy too, Miss Riffle.
Oh, I appreciate that, Dr. Evans, but you do want to meet this friend of Julian.
Well, where is he?
Well, right this minute, he's up in the apple tree in the Northrups' front yard.
Where did you say he was?
Right up in that apple tree. Of course, you can't see him. He's invisible.
Is this supposed to be a joke?
What would you say, Mr. Pilbeam, if I told you I believed it was the gospel truth?
Well, I'm afraid I'd say you were crazy.
I would be crazy, wouldn't I? And if I told you this Mr. Brink was a man like you, Dr. Evans, who went around taking people with him when they were about to die, you'd say I was crazy if I said I believed that, wouldn't you?
I'd say you were positively nuts.
Yes. Well, I don't believe it. But Julian does.
Come. What kind of a story is this?
A few hours ago, I happened to be passing Julian's house. I noticed some workmen building a fence. Well, naturally, I was curious. Pud says his grandfather's having a fence built around the apple tree so that nobody will touch it. Because if anybody touches it, he dies. And he's got that boy believing it, too.
Dies?
Yes, there's no more death in the world, Mr. Pilbeam, until Julian lets this Mr. Brink come down.
If Northrup should be insane, you'd have to take Pud, of course, wouldn't you, Miss Riffle?
Naturally. I'm next of kin.
That's what I thought.
Mr. Pilbeam, ever since Nellie Northrup died, you've been trying to stop my adopting Pud. Even when I told you it was her dying wish.
I simply said no court of law would believe you, Miss Riffle.
Well, I guess a court of law will feel differently about it when they see this child being brought up by a maniac. I'm going to get this boy away from this insane man before something terrible happens. Tonight, if possible. There's something to be done about such cases immediately, isn't there?
I'm not a psychiatrist, but if I think Julian's crazy, I'll talk it over with Grimes. He's the head of the asylum.
Well, you'll talk it over with him tonight after you've seen Julian.
If I find cause. Now, when people are insane, we don't usually let them run around loose.
Those workmen done pretty good, Pud, building that fence. Shouldn't take more than another day. No, sir.
No, sir.
I reckon I'll stay in guard tonight. See no one comes near the tree. There might be some of them apple stealers around.
Is the night bad for you, Gramps?
No, boy. Ain't nothing bad for me now.
I'll stay on guard with you tonight.
No, you need your sleep. With you, it's a question of growing, not dying. Now. What in tarnation are you doing around here? I told you if I found you snooping again...
You mean there's somebody sitting up there now?
Who told you about that?
Miss Riffle.
Yeah, I might have known it.
Well, look, Julian, what's the answer?
It's the truth, Evans. It's just as true as I'm standing here.
And nobody in the world can die anymore?
Nobody can die anymore until I say so. Well, unless they touch that tree, one of them apples, or Mr. Brink himself.
Now, you're not serious about this, Julian.
Of course he is. He's perfectly serious. aren't you, Julian?
I sure am.
Well, look, Julian, can you talk to this Mr. Brink?
Of course I can talk to him.
Have you talked to him since you got him up there?
No, every at the time.
I wish you'd talk to him now.
Why, just so you can hear him?
Well, I was thinking maybe if you tried to talk to him, you'd find out he wasn't up there anymore.
Yeah, well, he's up there, all right.
Please try to make him talk, Julian. I'd love to hear him.
Oh, you would, eh? Well, by golly, Jimmy, I believe I'll let you. I'll let you all hear him. Mr. Brink, can you hear me if I don't shout?
Sir?
You call me sir.
You seem to think somebody's answering.
Mr. Brink, you're not mad at me, are you?
Well, I think I could justifiably be allowed some slight irritation.
Well, I wouldn't have put you up there without a good reason. I got you up there so as this old alien couldn't get pud. And the money his father left him.
Oh, I can understand that your motive was probably sincere.
Now, I got an idea, and it's going to settle once and for all this business of her getting pud. Now, you come here, you. Now, you see this old battle axe? Now, her name is Demetria Ripple. Have you got anything on your schedule about when you're supposed to snuff her out?
Riffle? No such name has come to my attention yet.
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Brink. I'm going to keep you up there until it's time for you to exterminate her.
My dear man, that might take a very long time. There's no telling how long that woman can hang on.
Can't help it. Them's the terms.
Ah, very well. I thought it'd be like that. Well, since you and your tree are so tenacious, I shall just have to sit here till Miss Ripple's call comes.
You think you can hold out that long?
Oh, my dear man, a human life is like a twinkling of an eye to me.
Yeah, I suppose it is. All right, Mr. Brink. Well, there you are.
Oh, I'm sorry for you, Julian. I really am.
Sorry for me? Well, you heard what Mr. Brink said, didn't you?
No, I didn't hear that thing in the tree say anything.
You didn't? You heard Mr. Brink tell him.
I'm sorry, Northrup, I didn't.
Evans?
No, Julian, I didn't.
Well, I'll be... Am I going nuts? Didn't no one hear what he said?
He said a human life was like the twinkling of an eye to him.
Jumping catfish, that's just what he said. That's just what he said.
See what he's doing to that boy.
I want to show you something, Julian.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I'm going to eat an apple for you.
Oh, you doggone fool. After all I've been telling you about them apples, you make one more move toward that tree and I'll brain you.
All right. Just let me up and I won't go near the tree.
Doggone fool. Trying to commit suicide.
Yeah, all right. I just wanted to make sure you weren't joking. Look, are you going to be home a little later this evening?
Of course I am.
Well, I may come over to talk some more about this.
All right.
No, I must go.
Yes, I'll go along with you. Well, goodbye, Julia.
Goodbye, Evans. I'm sorry I had to be rough with you.
Well, that's all right.
And don't worry about none of your patients dying for a while yet.
All right. Goodbye, Julia.
Why don't they hear Mr. Brink?
Well, I don't know, boy. I guess they're all too busy.
My dear man, that isn't the reason at all.
Oh, there you are, Mr. Brink. Why is it only Pud and me can hear you then?
Well, I won't go into that now if you don't mind.
Just you say, Mr. Brink. Come on, boy. Say goodbye to Mr. Brink.
Bye, Brink.
Can't you say Mr. Brink?
Excuse me. Goodbye, Mr. Brink.
That's all right. Goodbye, Bud.
Dr. Evans is coming up the walk. He's got another man with him. I think I'd better get out to the trees.
Well, I reckon you'll have to stand guard for a while. Getting cold outside?
No, I don't think so. But it's real scary.
Don't you let anybody nigh that tree, and don't you come near it yourself.
No fear.
Now, what on earth have you done to your thumb?
Heard it when I was building the fence, but Martha put a heap of tape on it, so I guess it's all right now.
A heap of tape. Yeah. Adhesive tape will fix anything. Well, ain't it getting near to your bedtime, boy?
I'll better sleep like my top tonight.
I bet you will.
Good night, Gramps.
Good night, Pud. I'll see you before I turn in.
Oh, good evening, Julian.
Oh, good evening, Doctor.
Julian, this is Mr. Grimes. You know, I've been telling him about Mr. Brink and the tree.
Now, why'd you want to go doing that?
Well, he was very interested.
I don't suppose you believe he's up there.
Sure, I believe it. I was just going to ask you to come along with me and let's talk about it. There's another fella I'd like to have you meet. He wants to hear about it, too.
Well, it's this way, Mr. Grimes. I don't want any more people knowing about this thing until I find out some way of proving it. It's going to be a hard thing to make people believe. Ain't everybody can hear Mr. Brink when he talks. Now, I figured that
What the devil's the use, Evans? I haven't got time. Now, look, see if you can get this straight, will you? I'm taking you to the state insane asylum.
You're taking me to the insane. Demetrius.
Now, it's this way, Julian.
Demi, Evans. Where's Demi?
She's outside in the car.
Waiting, huh? Waiting for Pud.
Well, it's just for observation, and she'll just keep Pud until you can come back.
Sure. Now, you just come along with me and do as you're told, and you might get better soon. You can come home again.
There ain't nothing wrong with me, Mr. Grimes.
And we'll find that out.
Honest, there ain't nothing
Now,
wrong
look,
with me.
are you going to come along peaceable, or do I have to put a straitjacket on you?
Sort of looks like a gotcha, don't it? Yeah. Well, I'll just go up and say goodbye to Pud.
Oh, no. You'll see him tomorrow. They'll bring him up to the asylum. Come on now, let's get started.
Sure.
What's the matter?
Yeah, my badge. I gotta have my badge like I wear in parades. I'm a veteran, you know.
Oh, fine. I'm sure you couldn't march without a badge, now could you?
No, sirree. No.
That's all in knowing how to handle them. Sometimes the best way is to humor them, but sometimes you gotta be a little tough with them.
Yeah, I was afraid for a minute it was upstairs. Now then.
Here, now, put that away, Julian.
Put it down now, put it down.
You gotta humor a crazy person. And since you both made up your minds I'm crazy, you can understand it would drive me wild if you didn't humor
Yeah, but
me.
Julian, you're getting yourself into trouble, and this is no way to get out of
The
it.
only way to curse to me at the minute. Now listen, I ain't going to no bunkhouse.
Now look here, now.
I ain't going to no bunkhouse. I ain't gonna let that old she-cat get Pud. But I can see I got to prove that what I've been saying in reference to a certain Mr. Brink ain't no puppy.
Now be reasonable,
Now,
Julian.
you can prove that to us later.
I'm gonna make an experiment, and I want you to witness it.
Crazy's a bedbug, he's dangerous.
What are you going to do, Julian?
Evans, at this close range, the man got shot right through his belly. He'd die, wouldn't he?
Now look here, Northrup.
Wouldn't he?
Yes, of course he would.
That's all I want to know.
What?
Don't worry. He ain't gonna die.
You crazy fool. He'll be dead in an hour.
Stay up there, Mr. Brink. If you come down now, I'm in a terrible fix.
Tonight we have an exciting fashion story for you. A story that illustrates a dramatic change in the silhouette of fashion. Fashion, as you know, goes in cycles. The last time soft drape fabrics with the important fashion news was in the early 1920s. In those days, designers were limited to fabrics made of natural fibers, silk, wool, and cotton, but very soon after, in 1925 to be exact, Celanese acetate, the beauty fiber, began to be produced. Today, what a difference, thanks to the great contribution that Celanese acetate has made to fabrics. The soft, fluid look is again a dominant theme in fashion, but today it's so much more graceful and flattering, because now designers draw inspiration from dozens of beautiful new soft fabrics made with Celanese acetate. This fine textured crepe, for example, shows you how these fabrics mold to the body drape, softly into unpressed pleats. I'm sure you're going to be thrilled with this new fashion trend in Celanese acetate fabrics. These rich, soft fabrics are so completely feminine, and they feel so luxurious. Here's a crepe twill that's ideal for a dress with a sophisticated air. Notice how beautifully this acetate and rayon fabric falls into accordion pleats. Here, a smooth, supple crepe of acetate and rayon carries out the designer's idea for a new skirt line, a knee-deep flounce that lends grace to every step you take. So you see why noted designers on both sides of the Atlantic are choosing for their new fall collections soft, supple fabrics made with Celanese acetate, the beauty fiber. For fabrics that cling and mold and flow are the very qualities most effectively provided by the famous man-made fiber, Celanese acetate.
Incidentally, there's a free booklet telling you facts you ought to know about acetate, the beauty fiber. In just a moment, we'll tell you where to send for it. It shows you why you must know what fabrics are made of. It tells the difference between acetate and rayon, acetate and nylon. It tells you exactly how to care for clothes made with acetate. The address is Celanese, New York 16, New York. Send for your free copy of the acetate booklet today.
Hello up there. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Philbin. I was just...
Feeling all right?
Yes, of course. Why?
I just wondered. Well, what do you want to see me about?
I thought I might need you.
Huh? I hear you didn't lock Northrup up last night.
Oh, that's right.
How's that?
He isn't crazy.
What?
He's not crazy.
When do you get there?
Fishbowl.
Going fishing?
Been fishing.
Catch much? That's a mouse.
Yeah, that's a mouse.
What the hell's the matter with you?
What do you mean, what's the matter with me?
Get me out of
Now,
bed.
don't get excited. We've got to keep our heads. Because something's happened here that's going to turn the whole world upside down unless we can stop it. And you've got to help me.
Huh?
Northrup shot Grimes last night.
Good hell.
You're right through the belly. And he had internal hemorrhages, and I couldn't get him to the hospital for an hour.
Oh, what'd you shoot him for?
He was experimenting.
He was experimenting.
Now, wait a minute. Grimes is all right.
He's all right?
Yes, he's practically well. That's the trouble. That's the trouble. He's practically well, and from all I know about medicine, he should have died last night, but he didn't. Plenty of things should have died last night. I've been up all night trying to kill things. I've experimented with everything I could find, but I couldn't kill a darn thing except this mouse. And do you know how I killed him? I fastened him onto the end of this pole, and I touched him to that tree.
Now, Evans, you're tired.
No, for Pete's sake, do you see anybody up there? You hear anything?
Not a rough.
Neither do I. What if there's anything up there? It's got to come down. It's just got to come down, and you've got to help me.
Oh, howdy, Evans. How you feeling?
Hello.
How's Mr. Grimes doing?
He's doing very well.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. It was a nasty accident. Come on, sit down. What can I do for you?
I'm afraid I owe you an apology, Julian.
No, you don't. I wouldn't have any respect for you if you believed a thing like this at first. Well, you're a doctor. Kind of interesting, ain't it, Pillman?
Oh, yes, very interesting.
Awful nice sort of a chap, Mr. Brink is. Real friendly.
Thank you very much.
Oh, morning, Mr. Brink. I didn't know you was up yet.
Oh, yes, I had a lovely morning. I had a mouse in my face.
What's that? Well, tell me, what have you been up to, Evans? Have you been shoving a mouse in my friend Brink's face?
How did you know that?
Oh, Mr. Brink told me just now.
I gotta go.
Now stick around, Philbin.
Yeah, sure, stick around. This is sort of a special occasion. In fact, this is the morning Demi figured I'd be in the nut house. Sir, I'm feeling right good this morning. Pud's feeling pretty spry. Mr. Brink sounded pretty pert. Everybody's feeling fine, except Demi. God bless her.
Julian, there's a man in my hospital that's been suffering for 10 years. He's in constant pain.
Well, I'm real sorry, Evans.
Day before yesterday, I decided to operate. But the operation wasn't successful, and he's in worse pain now than he ever was.
I'm really sorry to hear that, Evans.
I expected him to die last night, and I was hoping he would.
Yeah?
There's a nice old lady in 2C. Mrs. Trainer, do you remember her?
Yeah, I'm sorry for all those people. Sorry for all of them. But if you're hinting for me to let Mr. Brink down, you're off on the wrong track.
Now, you gotta let him down.
Why should I? I'm looking after Pud myself.
Who the devil are you?
I'm the fella that got Mr. Brink up that tree, and up that tree he's going to stay until I get good and ready to let him down. Now, look here, Edward. Think that I'm afraid of going. I ain't afraid of dying. It might be real pleasant to see what's coming next. But you see, there's Pud. I just want to stick around in case he needs me.
Julian, did you ever see a man 110 years old?
Yeah, I saw one pretty near that old once. Old Fred Brown's father. Say, what are you driving at?
Well, I was just thinking, when Pud's a young man, you'll be about that age or so.
Oh, no. When I saw myself getting like that old guy, I let Mr. Brink come down and take me.
No, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't see yourself getting that way. You'd be too far gone by that. You might even forget that Mr. Brink was up there.
I don't want to be no nuisance to Pud.
Julian, you've got to let Mr. Brink down today. Now, I'm warning you. I'll do everything I can to make you. Now, you better think it over.
Mr. Brink, if I let you come down, you're bound to take me, aren't you?
You'll be the first.
That's what I thought. No way of getting out of that, is there?
None.
I didn't think so. Mr. Brink, you think Mr. Evans is right about putting me? You think maybe I might become a nuisance to the boy?
My dear man, there's not a doubt about it.
Here comes Casey down the track. Binky, bink, bink. Here comes Casey down the track. Toot, toot. Say, Mr. Brink, you're standing right in my way. Get out of my way or run you over. Guess I'll have to strike you dead, Mr. Brink. Boom. Now see what you did. You wrecked my train to splinters. I guess I have to get a new engine. Here's a new engine. Get on and give me a ride. Here we go. Oh, Gramps, I love you. I love you more than my engine.
You shouldn't love me that much, boy. You see, Pud, I've been thinking of going away.
Where?
Where the woodbine twineth.
Are you going with Mr. Brink?
Yeah, I'm going with Mr. Brink. Your Gramps is getting to be a pretty old man. And when you get to be that old, you begin to get kind of tired.
Are you tired?
Right this minute, I'm pretty goddamn tired.
Then let's go lie down and rest.
Yeah, that's just what I'm going to do. But the only way an old man can really lie down and rest is to go with Mr. Brink.
I'll go with you, Gramps.
You can't go with me, boy. You got your whole life ahead of you.
But I don't want my whole life ahead of me. I want to go with you. I love you, Gramps.
But I've been thinking things over. Maybe it ain't such a good idea for you to be living with me anymore. And you know, maybe your Aunt Dimitri ain't such a pismire as we thought she was.
Gramps!
No, sir, no, maybe she ain't. Maybe it'd be better if you went over to Aunt Dimitri's house and lived with her. What's the matter, boy?
Don't you love me anymore?
Of course I do. It's just that I gotta go away.
But I'll go with you, Gramps.
You can't, boy, you can't.
Please, Gramps, please.
No, boy.
Then I don't love you anymore. Then I don't love you anymore.
Wait a minute, boy. Wait a minute.
Did you speak to him?
Yes, I did. He'll be right out.
Did you tell him it was for the boy's own good?
Yes, we went all over it. He's made his own decision.
I'll be good to him, Julian. Honest, I will. I'll give him all the things he's missed. You won't be sorry for what you've done.
She's right, Julian. She's a lot younger than you are, and she can cope with the youngster. You'll find it harder and harder as you get older.
You see, did he get some fun out of life?
I will, Julian.
Ain't you going to let him play?
Well, he'll have his play period, and he'll have his education, too. I'll start forming his mind.
Well, his mind's forming all right as it is.
By the time Miss Ramsdell's school opens in the fall.
Miss Ramsdell's school is a girls' school.
Oh, not anymore. There are going to be 3 boys in it in the fall.
You're going to make Pud into a sissy. By the Lord, Henry, you're still a pismire. I'm going to change my mind. I ain't going, Mr. Brink. I'm going to stay right here and take care of Pud.
It isn't up to you, Julian. If you don't let Pud go, Dr. Evans is going to commit you to an asylum.
You would?
I have to, Julian. You can see that. I'll do anything to stop what you're doing, anything.
I see. Well, Mr. Brink, it looks kind of like the time has come.
Yes, time's come now.
I wasn't cheating. I was going to let you down as soon as you got word you should take Demi, too.
I know.
Yeah, I don't suppose by any chance you got any word about taking her yet.
No, I've had no call from Miss Riffle. Probably won't have one for years.
What's that? You say you're supposed to take her an hour ago?
No. I said I probably wouldn't take her for years.
For goodness sakes, Mr. Brink, why didn't you tell me if you were supposed to take Demi, too?
I'm not supposed to.
Did he really say that?
Yeah, he said he's supposed to take Demi an hour ago. But it changes everything. Come on, Demi.
No, Julian, Dr. Evans.
I'm sorry when a person's time comes.
No, there's nobody up that tree. This is so silly.
Well, thank you, Mr. Brink, for taking Demi.
The wildest absurdity I've ever heard. You know perfectly well I have no authority to take Miss Riffle. It's utterly out of the question.
Yeah, goodbye, everybody. Oh, I'll be seeing you in a second, Demi. Now I'm going to begin the magic words. Here, piddly, nibbly, pisma little, piddly. Come on, Demi. Here we go. Off the glory.
Monkey business, let me down.
You say, Julian.
You will?
Yes, I will. I swear it.
All right. Now, you just keep your hands off my boy, Demi.
Yes, I will, Julian.
You keep the dickens away from me, too.
I will, Julian. I'll keep the dickens away from you, too.
All right, Mr. Brink. From now on, anybody tries to make me let you down, you got to take them, too.
I will not.
Thank you very much. Now, you go on, get out of here. I'm going to stay right here and take care of Pud. I don't care if the whole world goes to pot. Go on, get off my property. If you ask me, you're pretty lucky. Ain't nothing in the world can stop us now. Just me and Pud. There ain't nothing in the world can stop us.
Which world do you mean?
What's that, Mr. Brink?
Which world do you mean?
I don't understand, Mr. Brink.
Of course you don't, my poor man.
What did he say?
He said, my poor man, and I don't like the way he said it. Not one bit. Pud, where are you, boy? Pud. Oh, it's no use. I searched everywhere.
Now, he'll turn up all right. Maybe he just went over to Jimmy.
I didn't think he stayed this late. Will you run over and see Marcy?
All right, I'll be right back.
I gotta find him. I gotta explain.
Pud!
Pud?
Oh, Mr. Brink.
What's the matter, Pud?
My Gramps doesn't love me anymore.
Doesn't he? What are you going to do?
I'm going to run away. Then you'll be sorry.
What have you got there?
These are some cookies I got. This is my frog and a couple of specimens in here.
And you're really going to run away?
Of course I am.
Oh, I wouldn't if I were you. They're bound to catch you and bring you back. You're not big enough to run away, my little man.
I am so, and I'm not your little man. I'm not your little man at all. I'll spit in your eye.
That might be difficult.
Why?
You couldn't reach me.
I can too.
You'd be afraid.
I'm not afraid of the biggest giant on earth.
How do you know that I'm not the biggest giant on earth?
Because you're in a little street.
Well, that makes sense, yes. I guess you're pretty smart. Huh? No, you're not. You're not even smart enough to climb a tree.
I am too. I climbed that tree before you got up it, and I climbed down. That's more than you can do.
There's no doubt about that. But you couldn't do it now. Why, you couldn't even climb that fence.
I can do it with one hand.
Let's see.
All right.
No, don't try that side. That's much too difficult. Come round the other side, round here.
Oh, my hand hurts to get a heap of tins.
Scaredy cat, scaredy cat.
Who's a scaredy cat?
It's much easier this side. That's right. Get up on there. That's right. There. Now, walk along that ledge. That's right. I guess you're stronger than I thought you were. Yes, that's right. Come into the corner here. There. I guess you are pretty smart.
Golly, I could see far up here.
Can you see me now?
Yes. Gee, why do you make your voice so whispery, Mr. Brink?
Don't you like it?
Yes?
Can you see me now?
Yes, I can see you.
Look at me.
Gee, you have funny eyes, Mr. Brink. They make me dizzy. You've got ghost eyes.
Look at me. Keep on looking at me. Hold out your hand. Lean forward.
Grant, I hate to take my back hurts.
Hush a moment, boy. Just a moment. Mr. Brink.
Yes?
Pud's in terrible pain. Why'd you let him do it, Mr. Brink?
I didn't mean to hurt him. I only meant to take him.
Pud? Take Pud? Well, that's how he come to be able to see and hear. Why didn't you tell me?
I'm not supposed to tell you. Can't you understand now what it means to you and your world to deny me? Why, all the rest of the world is beginning to feel the pain and sorrow of keeping me here. It'll get worse every week.
I guess I tried to fight off more than I could chew.
Much more.
Will you come down, please, and take us both?
Gladly.
Please come then, quickly.
Grant, I hate to take my back hurts so awful.
Just a minute, boy. Just a minute.
No, you first. Better, isn't it?
Well, he was quite a low before. He's light as a feather now.
Oh, hello, Mr. Brink.
Hello, Pud.
Are we dead at Gramps?
Must be. I feel like a 2-year-old. How do you feel?
I feel like a 2-year-old, too.
Well, Mr. Brink, why didn't you tell me it was going to be like this?
My dear man, I tried to tell you how pleasant it would be to come with me, but you wouldn't listen. Never mind now. Come on, let's go.
Where are we going, Grant?
Yeah, by golly, that's important. Where are we going, Mr. Brink?
You'll find out.
How long will we be gone?
For eternity.
How long is eternity, Grant?
A right smart piece of time, boy.
Well, anyway, we'll both be together, won't we?
You're darn right we will be. You're darn right.
Julian? Julian, do you have to talk that way in front of the boy?
Shucks. I thought you said she'd changed.
Now, here's a fashion forecast that's important to your fall wardrobe. It's the new figure of fashion, the crepe dress, the essence of the new look for fall in softer, suppler fabrics. And, of course, these new crepes are made with Celanese acetate, the beauty fiber. For Celanese acetate is unsurpassed in making crepes that are luxuriously soft, that mold the figure and move with grace and ease. These dresses from the distinguished fall collection of Adele Simpson illustrate a few of the highlights in the crepe dress fashion. Look for a relaxed and gentle fullness in skirts. Look for drape effect through the bodice. Look for trim simplicity with a new feminine air. All these new fashion trends are perfectly achieved by the new fluid fabrics made with Celanese acetate. It's the dress you'll want for now and from now on. A new crepe dress in a fabric of Celanese acetate, the beauty fiber. There's a store near you that has these Adele Simpson dresses. Here is where you can find them.
Tonight's performance has brought to a close the current series of plays from the New York stage of the Celanese Theater. We are both proud and happy that Celanese Theater has won nationwide recognition on many occasions for its masterful production of fine American plays. Outstanding among the many honors received was the Peabody Award, which designated Celanese Theater as the finest in television entertainment. Many people worked long and hard to make this season's Celanese Theater the finest in television drama. On behalf of Celanese Corporation of America, we'd like to thank our talented casts our brilliant production team, and especially we'd like to thank you, our audience, for the privilege of coming into your home with what we sincerely hope is the kind of entertainment you like to see. Now, until we meet again, goodbye, and we hope you have a very pleasant summer.